Hard work, pride of workmanship, love for family and community, a strong desire to offer a safe and reliable work environment for our team members. These are just a few of the core attributes which have set Johansen and Highmark apart from the rest of our industry over the years. Founded in 2005, Johansen Excavating has grown, evolved, diversified, and continuously adapted to market conditions and local opportunities that have presented themselves over the years. Today, Johansen Excavating has become Johansen Construction Company, a premier heavy civil contractor self-performing a wide array of work in Greater Seattle area ranging from site development, commercial development, hydropower, heavy highway, and infrastructure style projects being delivered through a diverse mix of lump sum, unit price, and design build type of contracts. In 2010, Highmark Concrete Contractors was born. Since its inception, HCC has strove to stand alone as one of the foremost leaders within the concrete industry in the Greater Seattle area. 10 years since its inception, and HCC is delivering quality work to a diverse group of contractors and owners stretched across a geographical footprint encompassing much of Washington State, making it a serious contender for any job it chooses to pursue. Our Flatwork division turns out high-quality, turnkey concrete solutions on both public and private projects. With 2 slip-form curb machines, HTC is growing and capturing more and more market share each year. In addition, our Structures division is steadily expanding its reach, which is accentuated currently by the ongoing construction of the Issaquah Falls City Road Bridge. With its diverse and extensive work experience, JCC and HTC combined have the capability to deliver a level of self-performed work that is unrivaled in our industry. We deliver the aggregate, haul the spoils, direct the traffic, lay the utilities, remediate the soil, grade the site, place the concrete, stain the concrete, saw cut the concrete, place the girders, cast the wall, place the bridge deck, and much, much more. As we take this week to reflect on our safety performance, and to recommit ourselves to returning home safely to our families each day, we say thank you to all who have been part of our team's success over the years. We thank everyone who embraces safety as a core value and understands how important it is to encourage safe work practices and to foster safe work environments. We look forward to the messages that will be shared with us this week and hope each of you take the time to reflect on your own individual safety performance and how you may continue to grow and support safety efforts in your role, whatever it may be.
Good morning. Welcome to all who will join us this week as we take time each morning to reflect on safety in the workplace and our performance as a company over the past year. My name is Shane Webley. I'm the Vice President of Johansen Construction Company and Highmark Concrete Contractors. I'm joined this morning by Jalen Johansen, President of Johansen Construction Company and Board Member of Highmark Concrete Contractors. And to my right is Jacob Simmer, Chief Executive Officer of Johansen Construction Company and President of Highmark Concrete Contractors. In 2014, we held our first all-hands safety meeting, and 6 years later, facing limitations related to social distancing and gatherings as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, we were confronted with a challenge in how to create this moment and set aside dedicated time to participate in meaningful discussion regarding workplace safety and our performance as a company in this regard over the past year. As we met several times over the past few months to prepare for the all-hands safety meeting, a few things became clear. One, this annual meeting is of extreme importance to us. Setting meaningful time aside to discuss safety sends a message to all of our employees and the construction industry as a whole that workplace safety is something that we take seriously. Two, in light of the COVID-19 global pandemic, that if we were to hold an all-hands safety meeting, it would not be accomplished through the traditional delivery method that we have used in the past years as we've gathered together in person. Three, that this is an opportunity for us to once again leverage technology as one of the core values to set us apart from the rest of our competition and still deliver a meaningful all-hands safety meeting to our team in spite of the limitations surrounding COVID-19. This final point has pushed us outside of our comfort zone and landed us here in a production studio in front of cameras where we do our best to effectively communicate our message to each of you this week. To be honest, it's a little uncomfortable sitting up here. We've extended ourselves in a way that we're a little bit unsure of, and we may fumble at times as we try to deliver this message to you this week. So throughout this week, we will take time each morning to participate in our 2020 virtual all-hands safety meeting. Messages will be delivered at times to a combined group of Highmark and Johansen employees, but you will also receive individual messages throughout the week that are company specific. For example, when we discuss our safety performance over the past year, we'll break into separate groups and each company will receive information that is specific to either Highmark or Johansen. Now, to begin our meeting, let's start our discussion by addressing the challenge we all face, which has caused us to meet remotely this week. On February 29, 2020, Governor Jay Inslee declared a state of emergency in Washington state as a result of the COVID-19 global pandemic. On March 23, 2020, the governor issued a Stay Home, Stay Healthy proclamation, which required all Washingtonians to stay home unless they needed to pursue an essential activity. This proclamation also caused all non-essential businesses to close. Since March 23rd, we have all learned a lot about essential versus non-essential business and activities and what it means in the eyes of the government. Something that I'm sure none of us ever thought we'd need to consider before. In response to this initial proclamation, we immediately went to work to understand, to the best of our ability, the safety concerns associated with COVID-19. We also sought information about the designation of essential services and critical infrastructure. We formed a COVID-19 task force that met daily to review recent communications from our local and national government and health officials. We began to develop our own pandemic policy, a policy that we knew when completed, we needed to be confident could maintain the health and safety of all of our team members. We engaged in industry-wide discussion with other contractors through our association with the National Utility Contractors of America to learn about how others were employing health and safety measures to protect their employees. By embracing technology as one of our core values, once again, we were one of the first, if not the first, contractor in the Seattle area to develop and launch an electronic check-in process that eliminated the need for transferring paper and automatically archived and notified key individuals of potential COVID-19 exposure incidents on any one of our projects company-wide. We have invested in Zoom meeting software, reassigned management personnel to short-term work locations, and modified workstations to help ensure social distancing guidelines and limit health and safety concerns. As we commenced a recurring virtual meeting with all supervisors, managers, and support staff company-wide to communicate what we knew about the pandemic at the time, how it was affecting our work, and how it may affect our families outside of work. We're not out of the woods yet, and us meeting together this week in this fashion is a reflection of this. As we look back on our efforts in this regard thus far, I wanted to introduce Jalen Johansen, president of Johansen, once again, to provide his perspective on why it has been so important for Johansen and Highmark to take on the COVID-19 pandemic in the manner from which we have thus far.
When we started this business 15 years ago, dealing with the pandemic was one of the last things that was on our list of concerns. Things like growing and getting work and keeping the guys and gals working were among the most important focus we had at that time. And currently, the time we're in, keeping those people not only working but safe has now been our main concern. I don't think we ever thought that the COVID pandemic would go to the lengths that it has gone. A lot of people were talking about, where it might go, what we might be seeing as far as changes in business and our lifestyle. And it just seemed unrealistic that would be the new norm. And, once it became apparent that was the new norm and the state started shutting down and we were required to start changing our operations and our business, then it was apparent that we were going to need to make some changes to be able to continue to keep our employees healthy, keep our employees getting a paycheck every week, and keeping our backlog moving forward that we had put in place for the year. And I think that we did a really good job of implementing those processes to keep our people working and safe. A lot of these people have been with us for a long time. In 2005, when we started, this was never anything that we would think we would be dealing with. We were worried about getting employees, getting work, keeping those employees working. And now that we've been able to build that and we got to where we are today, this was something that was threatening the business we have and the people we have. And I think we really did a really good job at implementing the processes to keep those people going to work every day, getting that paycheck. And that's the world we're living in today.
Thank you, Jalen. Next, I'd like to introduce Jacob Simmer and invite him to share his thoughts and impressions from a managerial perspective regarding COVID-19.
Well, it was difficult to understand what COVID-19 actually was, the real risk, and how it would affect the way we continue to run our business. We're trying to maintain two key goals. First and foremost, keep everyone safe. Second, maintain our contract obligations. With most of our projects being essential, we're required to continue work as long as we created a safe work environment. This meant creating, communicating, and properly implementing pandemic protocols. It was a monumental task and created a lot of unexpected administrative work. I feel like our group met the challenge better than any other example I've seen. We have received many compliments on our protocols and how they are implemented, and I'm very proud of how we met the challenge.
Thank you, Jake. Now, we will introduce Tony Barabee, our safety officer, to share his perspective on combating the COVID-19 pandemic from a safety perspective.
When the COVID-19 pandemic first came to light in March 2020, it was a very overwhelming event. The information was changing week to week, and nobody really knew a lot about COVID-19. As the team moved forward and the information came in, we started creating a pandemic protocol policy and really getting into what the coronavirus was and how we were going to keep our personnel safe during this pandemic. As the weeks went on, information kept changing and we continued to update management and crews. As a team, we have strived to keep everyone informed and up to date with the CDC recommendations and Washington State requirements. It has been challenging, to say the least, but we will continue to do everything possible to keep our people safe. If anything, this pandemic has shown how resilient we are as a company, and I think with hard work and dedication, we can get through anything.
Thank you, Tony. Rachel Turner, our human resources representative, has been deeply involved in our COVID-19 efforts, and we've asked her to share her perspective from a human resources standpoint.
It's been so incredibly important for me to stay up to date with all that's going on in the country and our state as the COVID-19 pandemic unfolded over the last year. As each stay-at-home order was issued and each act instated, I found it more and more critical the need to research answers to have available when employees would call me. I wanted to know all the options and if and when we had a potential exposure, someone had to miss work, what the best protocols were for our company when making tough decisions, and how we would get our employees paid. The information has been ever-changing, which has been really difficult, but meeting with owners weekly and management teams bi-weekly has provided our employees with comfort in knowing we are doing the best we can. Staying informed has helped me feel confident taking a call from an employee and giving them all the information I have. Then we're able to work through the specific COVID-related scenario and make any decision necessary.
Thank you, Rachel. Now, as a local contractor, we pride ourselves in building the communities that we live in. Family is a core value of our company. When we leave our homes each day to go to work, we expect to return home healthy and unharmed. The COVID-19 pandemic has posed a serious health concern to each of us, not only while at work, but also while at home or away from work. It is a hazard that faces each of us in a unique way that is unprecedented. As we began our efforts to address the issues and challenges faced as a result of this pandemic, we had a strong desire to help highlight and raise awareness for family, not just worker safety. A healthy and happy family translates to a healthy and happy life. With this in mind, we have made it a priority to share health and safety information regarding school, community, and other types of gatherings through regularly reoccurring communication with our team in hopes that we could help highlight the burden of obtaining this information on our own. We have realized it's okay to not have all the answers all the time, but to share the information that we do have and to provide it in a timely manner with a commitment to follow up whenever necessary. I feel that this effort has drawn us closer as a company, and I see it as one of the small blessings that have been realized during this challenging time. Now, in closing, I would like to introduce our Safety from a Distance logo that will be present throughout our individual messages this week, and I'd like to lay out the remainder of our week so you'll know what to expect. Tomorrow, each company will receive individual messages receiving and discussing our overall safety performance since last year's all-hands safety meeting. Wednesday, we will identify our key safety performers for each company and recognize our tenured employees. Thursday, we will hear from Christian Westman, our keynote speaker this year, who is a local man that some of you may know. Christian will share his story regarding a workplace injury that he sustained and how it has changed his life. And Friday, we will wrap up our virtual stand down week discussing several of our ongoing construction projects with various Highmark and Johansson managers and the work we have ahead of us yet to complete. Finally, today, before the end of your shift, we will distribute Safety from a Distance shirts to all employees. We ask that all employees wear these shirts on Wednesday of this week in support of our Safety from a Distance virtual stand down week. We'd love to have photos of our team members working this day in their Safety from a Distance shirts that we can post to our respective social media platforms with the hashtag Safety from a Distance. Please send these photos to Rachel Turner at either rturner@johanssonCCI.com or rturner@highmarkcc.com. Thank you for joining us this morning. We hope you have a great day. Stay healthy and stay happy.